Greetings, peeps. Welcome back. I am Lisa Parker, stopping specialist for ambitious women. I am a coach and a speaker, and I make workshops and do all sorts of things, basically because I got sick of how I had all these amazing, awesome dreams, and I could even come up with a plan and to-do lists and schedules for getting everything done, but then I'd hit this point where I just couldn't continue, and I just hit this wall, and I kept stopping myself. So as I learned how to keep myself going towards my goals and my dreams, I want to share that with other ambitious women. And, men, non-binary pals, stick around, you might learn something too. Okay, so there are 4 pillars of the way that I coach and the way that I teach people to help them break through their barriers, to help them stop stopping and continue making forward progress towards their big goals. All right, so one of the ones we're going to talk about today is community, because there's that adage, allegedly African proverb, that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And I don't know if you're anything like me, but me growing up, I felt like kind of an odd kid. Grew up in a very conservative church and had to wear skirts like below my knee every day. And I have never been young. I have never been cool. So I just always felt kind of like an outsider. Also, I was, young black girl at a predominantly white school, all the way from elementary all the way K through 12, and then in a lot of predominantly white spaces in college and beyond. And I think there's kind of a human drive for all of us can look back at our history and see things that could have led to us feeling isolated or us feeling alone in our journey. And it became very important to me as I started figuring out how to break through my own resistance and how to stop stopping myself. I realized that I wasn't putting enough stock in building a community around me of people that were helpful, of people that could cheer me on. Because we may have our default communities, say our family, our friends, depending on our living situation, roommates or neighbors, or people that we go to worship with, or people that we're in clubs with. And hopefully, I pray for you that you don't have folks who are actually trying to drag you down, even though I know that that does exist, and I have experienced a lot of that in my own life. But even if they are neutral and just kind of cheering you on vaguely from the background, sometimes that's not enough. And my notes are over here. A big thing, kind of my thesis for today in this video, is that your friends shouldn't flinch if you win. Your friends shouldn't flinch if you win. And why is that important? Because often if you are pursuing your own growth, it can shine a light on other people, or other people feel like it's shining a light on them, that they aren't making the progress that they want to make. I heard someone say, I think on the Jokes on You pod, they said jealousy is natural, but hating is a choice, meaning that I think it's a pretty common human impulse for us to feel jealousy, for us to look at someone who's getting opportunities that we haven't gotten, or who may start at a different place on the starting blocks than we did, and just be like, what the heck? Nah. And being jealous of where someone else starts is natural. And we may be surrounded by people that have that natural impulse to be jealous, but comes a big problem when people give in to that jealous impulse and they turn into actual active haters, either in general towards you or for one aspect of your life. And yeah, you absolutely can wait for them to get caught up and to deal with their hateration and their jealousy, but also it helps if you know when it's time to cultivate maybe a different or additional group of people to be your goal-getting friends. Okay, so here are a couple of things, five signs that you might need to up your friend group just a little bit, your support group just a little bit. Okay, so number 1, if your friends go silent when you get a win, if they don't give a congrats, if they don't send you a card, they don't send you a text, not a peep. You're just getting a feeling of vibes and like that jealousy that's changing to hateration. That could be a sign. Second thing, if your friends only show up when you're struggling. I remember the first time I experienced this, and it's just that misery loves company thing. I think in the case where I experienced it, just had these friends that would not come out of the woodwork unless I were suffering. And it wasn't in a spirit of, oh gosh, like I'm want to support you, I want to send you good vibes, I want to send you prayers, I want to send you love and light. No, it felt like they wanted to like pull out popcorn and eat it and watch me fall down further publicly. So if you get that impression that you had some friends that only show up when you're struggling. Another thing, if you find yourself shrinking your joy to keep the peace, how does that feel? And you know, especially with the women I work with, and I saw this even in myself, that I think in a lot of cases, women are taught by the culture, taught by all sorts of structures around us, that often we are the ones who have to deal with everyone else's emotional dysregulation. Like we have to keep things on an even keel. We have to massage over the hurt feelings or the broken promises or people getting all up in their ashy feelings about something, and we're the ones who have to figure that out. Definitely not to say that, you know, men and non-binary folks and that this can come out on everyone, but I do feel like it comes down on people that are women or assigned female at birth, that it comes down on them much harder. So again, if you find yourself shrinking your joy to keep the peace, that's fun times. Number 4, if you find your friends or the people kind of in the background offering backhanded compliments as jokes, and especially if you ever call them out on it and they say, oh, well, you're just too sensitive, or it's just a joke. Like, it's just a joke, bro. Oh my gosh. You know, if they say anything like you are celebrating that you just got a bonus at work and you were able to buy something nice for yourself, and they say, must be nice, and not in a friendly way, but there's that kind of nice, nasty twinge to it, that, God, that's never fun to deal with. Or if they say in kind of a sarcastic way, well, don't forget us little people. And again, a lot of this can come down to tone. And took me a long time to learn how to read people's tones and how to get my tone to point in the right direction. So I do apologize for anyone where I was saying something where I meant to be vaguely sarcastic and came off as like bitter and cranky pants. But that can be part of it too. If you are picking up that their tone is just kind of sounding bitter or nice nasty, or, you know, just the jokes aren't joking, you know, that's not a good thing. And here's a big one, number 5. If you feel more celebrated by strangers online or in real life, or even someone that you just met in the checkout line at the grocery store, if you're feeling more celebrated by strangers than by the people that you would consider your inner circle, that can be a big sign that it is time for you to expand, for you to find more people to connect with. All right. So, and remember also, if people are not celebrating you, that says more about their capacity for joy and support than it says about your capacity for worthiness. Please keep that in mind, that just because people aren't celebrating you, and I would see this a lot when I worked with I've done a lot of like church youth group work and camping work and all this stuff, and just seeing kids who would be so incredibly proud of like something that they made at camp, or that they got stronger in their swimming stroke, say, and that people not even in their unit, like other campers, would be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, congratulations for passing that swimming test. And then they would tell their parents at pickup, and the parents would not give a crap. That was heartbreaking. And you may have grown up with that, or you may be surrounded with that now. But again, remember that other people's inability to celebrate you has more to do with their capacity for joy and support than your capacity and your worthiness. All right. So just keep those things in mind. If you see any of those things, any of those 5 things kind of popping up in your friend circle or in your buddy circle, or, you know, family, friends, people that you want to have support you, then take that as a sign that it might be time for you to cultivate some new goal-getting friends. And again, those 5 signs are, number 1, if they go silent when you share a win. Number 2, if they only show up when you're struggling. 3, if you find yourself shrinking your joy to keep the peace. Number 4, they're offering backhanded compliments or jokes that aren't really jokes. And 5, you feel more celebrated by strangers or people online than your closest people. If any of those 5 things are showing up for you, then just keep that in mind, that you want to start making steps to build some more goal-getting friends, some more supportive friends around you. And I'll have information, some hints on how to do that in some other videos coming up. Just keep that in mind. And remember, with those people, because a lot of them are family or friends or people that you live with or relatives or classmates or, people at work, especially people that may be above you in the organization chart at work, you may not be able to get away from them completely. And you don't necessarily have to cut them off, but you do have to set yourself up to climb with people that want to see you succeed. All right. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to put a cut right here. Okay. So you know how you can make yourself a to-do list at the beginning of the day, but then say at 3:35 p.m. when it's time to do the big scary task, that often you feel some kind of resistance. You feel fear or confusion or overwhelm, or you just want to procrastinate, or you feel like now would be a great time to do some dishes and organize my closet and take things to the charity drop. Yeah, that is something that I struggled with mightily as I was learning how to stop stopping myself. And so I made this 3-day recorded workshop called Unstoppable You. And it is to help women when they hit that point of fear or resistance or procrastination, to give you some specific tools to help you jump over it in the moment. Because again, it's very different making a to-do list and having great goals and great ideas and feeling on top of the world at say 7 a.m. But at 3:35 p.m., sometimes it's a different story. So if you're interested in the Unstoppable You workshop, there'll be a link somewhere around this video so you can check it out. All right. And remember, you are already awesome. Now's the time to live it out. Have a great day, y'all. Bye for now.